So in 1972, I became a runner. So I can hear all the eyeballs hitting the top of your head with the eye rolls. Here we go. Runner's gonna tell us how fun and freeing running up and down the roads is and through the woods. And it is. In 2018, due to an unfortunate set of events, I ended up with hip labrum surgery that the recovery was 4 months, which led into a knee replacement, which was another 4 months, which led into a right hip replacement, which was another 4 months. And through all of that, the doctor said, you should never run again. But they knew me. And they said, well, you can sneak in a 5K here or there. So in December of 2019, I thought, all right, this is it. I'm through with all the surgeries. 2020 is my year. That's the year that I'm coming back, baby. So the first week in January, I signed up for 5 different swim races and 3 different bike events and no runs. So I got through 1 swim race at the end of February. And then the emails started coming. This race is canceled, that race is canceled, this one is postponed, we don't know what we're gonna do, so forth and so on. About the middle of June, I get an email from Ron Horn, who's a race director in Reading. And he said that his race, which was called the Jiggles, Wiggles, and Giggles 5K, had been approved, but he could only have 100 runners, and we had to do all of the COVID protocols. I signed up. I thought, okay, this will be my first 5K post-op, because I had thought before this, if I do a 5K, it's gotta be special. So what could be more special than that? So I signed up, and I figured it's in the middle of nowhere in Reading, so nobody's gonna see me. Doesn't matter how slow I go, and it doesn't matter what happens. So I drove there to the Sunny Rest Resort thinking, it's a resort, should be flat. It wasn't. The rule was we had to stay, we got our bib numbers, except we didn't get bib numbers, they wrote it on our arms. And then we had to stay in our cars until they called us to the start line. So about 5 minutes before 9, over the loudspeaker we hear, runners come to the start line. I had seen a bunch of guys go past me and they didn't have their shirts on. Some other people didn't have their shirts on. I thought, well, it's a little bit humid. I guess I'll take my shirt off. They call us to the start line. I got out of my car and I got into my race outfit for the day, which was my running shoes and socks and a hat. That's it. This was a run not for the sheepish. So we started at the start line. And we went, and what I saw was 100 backsides. All shapes, all sizes, all ages, all colors. You talk about freedom and liberation. And the funny thing was, it wasn't as weird as it sounds, because once we started, it was still a race. The fast people were in the front, the slow people were in the back, and I was somewhere in the middle. What really bothered me the most, getting my freedom back to run, nobody mentioned about the scar on my hip, because it was still red from the surgery, until about 2.5 miles, and some guy said, dude, did you have your hip replaced? I said, yeah, 6 months ago. And that is how I got my freedom back.